depending upon which cybersecurity vendor you speak to, between 300,000 and 400,000 pieces of unique malware are deployed to corporate and consumer IT systems every single day. And it doesn't take a lot of imagination to think about what that might do when we start seeing ever connected cars hitting our roads here. Someone who's got a bit of a grip on that landscape and how to combat the growing threat is Andy Davis from the NCC Group. Hi Andy, how are you doing?
Hi, good, thank you. Good to meet you.
Terrific. Now, talk to me a bit about NCC Group, first of all, and the angle that it has on the whole connected car cybersecurity thing.
So NCC Group is a global cybersecurity assurance provider, so security is our thing. It's not just a side element, in addition to other services. With regard to automotive and transport, we've been in this world for the last four and a half years, and we have services that fit all the way around the life cycle of products. So not just security testing, but we help with secure design, incident response, threat modeling, that kind of thing.
Because surely, while we are in this nascent stage of connecting cars to the internet and to whichever other networks to each other, it's about building in security from the ground up at this really early stage. That's what we need to, as an industry, we need to crack.
Absolutely. It's something that we advocate in what we're calling the automotive secure development life cycle. So as you said, considering security at every stage throughout the life cycle of the development of a product. Because historically what people did was they'd develop products and then think, well, we need to get them security tested at some point. So it would be the last tick in the box before a product was launched. But the problem is, if you identify a security vulnerability at that stage that's a fundamental design flaw, it can often be very costly to create a bolt-on security solution. It's never going to be as effective and may delay the product launch.
That is as true in corporate IT, with security, backup, systems management being a tick in the box at the end of a project rather than built in from the beginning. So what's the news from NCC Group this year at the Connected Car 2016 show?
So as I said, we've been in automotive for the last 4.5 years, but as of June the 1st this year, we have launched a dedicated transport cybersecurity practice within the business. So not just looking at automotive, but also maritime, aviation, rail and space. So there's a big push within NCC Group around cybersecurity of transport systems, and there's a huge demand for services around cybersecurity in that space.
Certainly is a growing area. You've brought your car. Is this actually your car?
It's one of our research fleets, yes.
And I can see you've got some stuff plumbed in there. What sort of threats, practically speaking for a moment, what sort of things are cyber criminals and indeed firms like your own researching and providing assurance, what sort of stuff are they doing to hack cars?
So although we have not seen any real-world active malicious attacks against vehicles yet, I wouldn't be at all surprised if we start seeing, for example, ransomware attacks against cars being the first real-world malicious attacks. When you look at the modern connected vehicle, there's a huge attack surface there. And what I mean by that is there are a lot of potential entry points, wired and wireless entry points. So if you take, for example, USB, most modern cars have got USB ports in them. And we've got testing tools that allow us to plug into those USB ports and emulate pretend to be lots of different USB device types, send malformed data and identify security vulnerabilities that, if triggered, might allow the insertion of malware into systems on the vehicle. So that's an example of a wired interface. If you take wireless, we've been demonstrating today that we've got tools that allow us to emulate the entire GPS satellite constellation. So not only can you make a GPS receiver think it's in a different location, but also have a different date and time. So you've got a virtual time machine and the ability to virtually move the location around. So if you're thinking future vehicle systems around autonomous vehicles, obviously the knowledge of the specific location of that vehicle is critical.
Incredible stuff. Listen, Andy, thank you very much for coming down to the show and for sharing your insight on the fairly worrying, in some ways, road ahead for connected cars. But I guess it's your job to try and keep us safe and sound and to try and keep, as autonomous cars as well, safe and sound as well. Andy, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.